Hello everyone and welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into something that literally affects every single one of us, stress. But more importantly, we're talking about how to actually manage it. I am so pumped to get into this with you because we really need to completely reframe how we look at stress. We have got to stop seeing stress management as some kind of luxury or something we only deal with when we hit an absolute breaking point. We need to start treating it as a non-negotiable, daily form of self-care, just like eating your veggies or getting enough sleep. Managing the pressure we face is basically the foundation for our overall well-being.
So think about it like this. Are you carrying around a heavy backpack of chronic stress everywhere you go? It's a pretty powerful metaphor, right? Because when we don't manage stress properly, it doesn't just magically evaporate into thin air. Nope, it sits right there on our shoulders. And day after day, that invisible weight wears down our mental health, our physical health, and just completely exhausts us before we've even started our tasks. If you're feeling like you're lugging around a ton of bricks lately, well, you are definitely in the right place, because today, we are unpacking that bag.
Okay, here is our roadmap for today. Number 1, what is stress? 2, triggers and risk factors. 3, the homeopathic toolkit. 4, mind and body balance. 5, fueling the machine. And finally, 6, mastering your life.
Let's jump right into section 1. What is stress?
At its core, stress is literally just your body's natural alarm system reacting to pressure or demand. It's that internal siren that goes off when we face a challenge, whether that's a massive upcoming exam or a crazy tight work deadline. And honestly, a little bit of stress, it's actually a good thing. It can give us the motivation we need to perform better and stay laser-focused. But then there is chronic stress. That is when the alarm goes off and just stays on. It completely overstays its welcome, kind of like a really bad house guest. When that stress becomes constant and just doesn't let up, it puts a massive strain on your entire system, and that can lead to some pretty severe health issues down the line, like high blood pressure, heart disease, and depression.
And what's wild is how stress doesn't just live in your head. It is a full-body experience. On the physical side, it can actually alter your immune system, making you way more susceptible to catching colds all the time, not to mention dealing with super tense muscles and headaches. Emotionally, it leaves you feeling anxious, totally overwhelmed, and maybe really snappy and irritable. And then behaviorally, it throws a complete wrench in your daily routines. We're talking trouble sleeping, suddenly changing your eating habits, or falling back on some really unhealthy coping mechanisms. It truly impacts the whole shebang.
Moving right along to section 2, triggers and risk factors.
Because, let's be real, stress doesn't just pop out of nowhere, right? Our triggers come at us from all angles. You've got the classic work pressures, those impossible deadlines and demanding bosses. Then there are personal and family conflicts, or major life shakeups, like moving to a new city, which, let's face it, completely upend your routine. Oh, and we absolutely cannot ignore technology and social media overload. That constant ding-ding-ding of notifications on our smartphones and the endless loop of social comparison, those are massive, modern-day triggers that really take a heavy toll on our mental well-being.
But here is a very, very important caveat. We all have entirely different stress thresholds. What might be a totally minor, brush-it-off annoyance to your coworker could be a massive stressor for you. Take public speaking, for example. For some people, it's a walk in the park. For others, an absolute terrifying nightmare. So managing stress really has to start with pinpointing your own unique personal triggers. Once you figure out exactly what sets your specific alarm bells ringing, you can actually be proactive and avoid getting pushed over the edge.
All right, section 3, the homeopathic toolkit. Let's look at some holistic solutions.
So homeopathy is this really fascinating, incredibly gentle natural approach to healing. And it's based on this concept of like cures like. Basically, this means a substance that might cause certain symptoms in a healthy person can actually help treat those exact same symptoms in someone who's unwell, provided it's used in a highly diluted form. These remedies are drawn from plants and minerals. And the cool part, instead of just slapping a Band-Aid on your symptoms and suppressing them, they're meant to stimulate your body's own natural healing mechanisms. It's about treating the whole person, physical, emotional, and mental, to really get at the underlying root cause of that stress.
Now, what's genuinely interesting about this is how tailored the approach is. Because it treats the individual, different remedies are used for totally different stress experiences. For example, if you're going through emotional grief, like a real heartbreak, you'd look at something like Ignatia. But let's say your stress makes you super irritable and just wrecks your digestion, well then Nux vomica might be your go-to. We also see aconite used for sudden panic, lycopodium if your stress is really tied to a fear of failure or a lack of self-confidence, and kali phosphoricum when you're just dealing with absolute sheer mental and physical exhaustion. It's a super individualized way to find your balance.
Okay, shifting gears to Section 4, Mind and Body Balance. Let's put two absolute stress-busting superheroes side by side. First, yoga. This involves gentle physical movements and mindful breathing that literally help release that pent-up, built-up tension trapped in your muscles. It relaxes you physically while keeping your mind totally engaged. Meditation, on the flip side, is the art of quieting the mind. You can think of it like a deep tissue mental massage. It soothes those racing thoughts, helps you drop the worry, and really anchors you right in the present moment. Honestly, they just complement each other so beautifully. And guess what? Science actually backs this up. This isn't just about feeling warm and fuzzy in the moment. Studies have proven that a regular practice of yoga and meditation actively lowers the levels of cortisol, that is the main stress hormone in your body. It essentially turns the dial down on your body's entire stress response. And the absolute best part is that you do not need to be some enlightened guru to get the benefits. Just a few minutes of daily mindfulness, even if it's just taking a few deep breaths while you're stuck in traffic or really savoring that first cup of morning coffee, can drastically cut down those stress hormones and build some serious long-term resilience. Let's move on to Section 5, Fueling the Machine. I want you to think of your body like a high-performance car. For it to run smoothly, you have to give it the right fuel, right? And that's exactly what these 4 pillars of lifestyle wellness are all about. First, balanced nutrition. That's your premium fuel, boosting feel-good chemicals in the brain like serotonin and dopamine. Next is regular exercise. Getting the body moving releases endorphins. Those are your natural little happiness warriors that instantly lift your mood. Then there's adequate sleep. Guys, this is absolutely crucial. Sleep is your daily mental reset button. It's what actually makes you resilient to stress the next day. And finally, avoiding unhealthy habits. Reaching for a smoke or pouring an extra drink might feel like a quick fix in the moment, but they actually make stress way worse in the long run by completely messing with your sleep and your baseline health.
And finally, Section 6, Mastering Your Life.
So, taking all this in, the real key is building a personalized buffet of options that work for you. Here are 4 steps to get there. 1. Manage your time. Look at those giant, overwhelming tasks and break them down into bite-sized, manageable chunks. 2. Set realistic goals. Let's remember, we are aiming for progress here, not perfection. 3. Seek support. Please, do not hesitate to lean on your friends or your family. Just talking things out works absolute wonders. And 4. Practice a heavy dose of self-compassion and gratitude. You've got to treat yourself like you treated a dear friend. Acknowledge that, hey, life is messy sometimes, and consciously try to focus your mind on those positive silver linings.
So, the big question is, are you ready to use your superhero cape for stress management? Look, stress might be an uninvited guest, but you absolutely have the power to show it the exit door. Managing stress isn't just another chore on your to-do list. It's a completely empowering tool for a happier, healthier life. So, here is my challenge to you. Pick just one single technique we talked about today and put it into practice right now. Just one. Imagine, what would your life look like if you spent 50% less time worrying and 50% more time actually living? Think about that. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I will catch you in the next one.